What is up, guys? It is Jack, back up in this bitch with 10 Years Fitness. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Now, a lot of you might not know, but I keep on top of a lot of different communities on YouTube. I watch a lot of different kinds of content, and something that's really been popping, has been trending topic in YouTube overall recently with some of the biggest channels on here, is that the community is changing. A lot of videos have been made by huge YouTubers saying the community is changing and is becoming a more negative place. So this just really interested me. I just wanted to make a video about it because I went to look at some of the stuff they're complaining about and the ways it's becoming more negative, and it just struck me really that a lot of the things that they're complaining about developing in their respective communities, especially the video game and gaming commentary communities, we've already had that for a long time in the fitness community. We're well ahead of them on that. I looked at the stuff they're complaining about and I'm like, guys, respective to the hatred and negativity that goes on in the fitness community, you've got nothing to complain about. This is nothing. And it really just got me thinking, why is the fitness community online especially a very negative place, as negative as it is? Because with the YouTube fitness community combined with the things like the forums like bodybuilding.com and things like that, we do have quite a negative community, and I think a lot of people who can remember to the time that when they were just getting into this community, just getting into the gym, they came online to, for information, for inspiration, they found that it's quite a negative place. There's quite a lot of trolling, there's a lot of hatred and things like that, such as I say. So it got me thinking, why is that? And I think the answer to that lies in, as I've said before, in insecurity in principle. Okay, so as I've said before, I think a lot of people get into training out of insecurity. Okay, and there's that famous quote by Don Mazzetti on his Bro Science channel. How's it go? The day you start lifting is the day you become ever small, because you'll never be as big as you want to be. And that's one of the funniest things he's ever said, and one of his most memorable quotes for a lot of people I know. But a lot of people commented on that saying, it's so funny because it's painfully true. So many people said that, and you've got guys as big as Rich Piana, who's freaking jacked out of his mind, right? Complaining that he has bigorexia, okay? That is thinking that you're small no matter how big you get, you're never satisfied. And that's ties into what Dom said as well, you're never as big as you want to be. And that's interesting because that really all revolves around insecurity, and that combined with the fact that most people get into training out of insecurity, if not training for a sport, as I said previously. So yeah, I think that confirms that we have a lot of insecurity in the community. Now, how does that make it a negative place? Well, it's kind of a double-edged sword really, because insecurity is one of the biggest drivers of jealousy, okay? And that's what turns into hate, I think, a lot of the time anyway. It's one of the drivers of that. I mean, the best way to think of it is we all know, someone who's very insecure who, male or female, who whenever you're out somewhere, they're always trying to talk shit on people, okay? Anyone who walks by who's, reasonably good looking, they always try and pick out their flaws, okay? They want to talk about them and bitch about them to make them look, try and bring them down. And by doing that, they make themselves feel better, right? It's the whole thing of there's two ways to build the highest skyscraper in New York. You knock the biggest one down, or you build one bigger, okay? So that's that mentality right there. It's bringing others down to try and make yourself feel better. And that comes from insecurity in principle. There's really no two ways about that. And, the other side of the double-edged sword is that with all these insecure people around, this place, is really good picking grounds, and, there's a lot of good prey for people who are sociopathic, who like to torment people and troll them, and, or people who, they know that they can get a reaction out of. People come on here looking to troll, looking to trigger people and piss people off, get a really, try-hard reaction, and that's what the trolls are looking for a lot of the time. So, there being a lot of insecure people means that people go out and be hateful because of the insecurity, and it means that they're more sensitive as well. So people that like to troll, are drawn in to attack the insecure people. Now, why do I think so many people involved in fitness are insecure? I think it's because a lot of it is to do with the industry, and I'm not going to put all the blame on the industry, obviously, but I think a lot of the way things are marketed, and there's a lot of, like I say, things that are very false in the way they're marketed, and there's a lot of lies that go around that. I mean, Jason Blaha called it the Illuminati at one point, and that's an interesting way of putting it, because it's treating it like a conspiracy theory, which seems very dramatic, I know, but you've got to think that there's a lot of, if you look at it, people who know what they're talking about, they'll see that a lot of these people who are big names and icons in the fitness industry that claim natural, it's really pretty obvious, if we know scientifically and from experience, that it's very unlikely that these people are natural. And a lot of them, it's just flat out absurd that they claim natural. And, you know, I'm not anti-steroids. If they want to do that, then they can, but if so many people are doing it and lying about it, it gives, for the unaware, it pushes up the standard for what is naturally attainable and what is naturally should be expected. So either way, that in combination with all the marketing, like Photoshop and things, and I've said before, like, that's kind of part and parcel of any industry. Things being, you know, portrayed as better than they probably really are, but either way, it gives people who are getting into fitness and maybe don't know the ropes yet, it gives them the idea that they show them these, you know, photoshopped, ripped, possibly not natural fitness models, and it tells them the message of essentially, this is the only way to be. Okay, like regardless of what they're taking or how long they've trained, this is how you're supposed to look. This is how you should look. This is the only way to be. And obviously, the vast majority of people don't look that way, even if they've been training several years. And that's going to lead them to think that they become, you know, very critical of themselves, increasingly critical of themselves. I mean, an example is when Justin Bieber went through his transformation. Right, outside of the fitness community, the general public were like, wow, look at all these gains he's made. And there were serious news articles accusing this dude of steroid use. Right, and in the fitness community, what was the reaction of us guys? You know, to laugh at him and say, ha ha ha, how dare he brag about his gains, he's small and tiny and pathetic. And I mean, I didn't say that, but I'm talking about the negative side of the fitness community, and that is because we have such ridiculously inflated standards. Okay, and you know, when that's the case, and that we have these stupid high standards, for a lot of us, when we turn around and look in the mirror, we're going to look pretty crap by those standards, you know, there's no lying. But when you remove yourself from the hype and bullshit and look, okay, and say, okay, well, all these guys that look ridiculous, not to hate on them and be insecure, but a lot of them are not natural, so it's absurd for me to compare myself to them. But if I look at where I'm at right now with progress pics from a couple months ago or a year ago, I've come a long way, and you know, I deserve to be proud of that, you know, regardless of what people on these forums are telling me that I look like crap or whatever. That, you know, you should be proud of what you've achieved, and that's really the only way to be. But you know, anyway, I've kind of rambled, but I hope you got something interesting from that. You found that rant interesting. There's some ideas in that you thought were you've not considered before. So anyway, guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. But thanks for watching. I've been Jack with 10 Liters Fitness. I will see you guys in the next one.